4:00, we have a quorum. Call a meeting in order. Reading and approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
I move we approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Additions, corrections, discussion. Lacking any, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Those communications.
So for this month, we have our last pilot disbursement. Everyone has paid. We did it in 2 rounds. So we have Aurora paid, BMW Diesel and Grover were the last ones we were waiting for. We have 2 bills for the CNS company. It seems as if we are behind one because it went to Tracy's email. So everything's reported to myself and Danielle, who now received their invoices. So we have one for $4,141.47. This is a past bill from July through September. And then their most recent bill came to $867. So their check total, I think, is like $5,008 and $5,008.47 is the check for that. And then we had the NICEAG payment, which looks like it happened to be 2 months because that also was on Tracy's email. So that came to $392.50. That covered the previous 2 months of NICEAG.
Are we off from Tracy's emails now?
I would hope so. Yes.
We had a little discussion last month now.
Everything's been secured and locked up
Okay.
at this point.
Is there a motion to pay our bills?
Move it.
Second.
A second.
Thank you. Discussion. Questions?
On the DWD, so does their thing roll over to the new company that bought them? Or do we have to approve that, or can we stop it?
The pilot.
Their pilot, because they were bought out, I
I don't know if it's closed yet or
don't
not.
know.
We could check with Justin on that,
Yeah,
yeah.
but how does that work, Rick? Do they continue the pilot that we have?
I'd have to check on that pilot.
I think,
I think we got a couple of them going.
I believe there's 2. The last one is fairly recent. And I think that we have to approve it going to a different company. But you should check on
I
that.
will, okay.
This one? I can see. I think.
Yeah, so BMW was bought out by a company.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has it closed? Do we know? I mean,
I only saw what was in the paper. I
Right.
don't-
Publicly announced it.
Yeah.
Would we get?
Yeah, so it's-
yeah. Transferred?
We would.
we would,
I hope so.
yeah.
That's, I mean, we haven't done.
No,
Yeah. There's probably a due
No.
diligence period they're going through.
I think both pilots were pretty substantial.
The last one is, I think, very substantial. I don't know how.
That fancy warehouse.
Yes.
So we can look into that.
Yep.
I can,
Yeah, there's nothing looking for.
okay.
Any other questions? All in favor of the bills? Opposed? Carries. Treasurer.
So if we look at the profit and loss report, we see our total income came to $94.56, which was made up from interest savings on the CD and savings account of $65.66 and $28.90 from the Menard oil gas revenue. We'll see an administrative service of $5,000, which went to CCIDA. And we see a payment of $5,008.47 was for construction, which came from facilities and equipment on the P&L. We have postage and a mailing service of $23.95, which that's the total of your Tuesday payment that we paid last month. And we see the NICEAG bill for $392.50. Full expense number for $10,424.92. Our net income came to $10,333.36. At the bottom, you see a breakdown of the account balances and the restricted funds. Yeah. I know we already went over the pilot report, but that is the completion of all pilots that have been paid for 2021.
Move the treasurer's report.
Second.
There, motion, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion. All in favor? Any opposed? Carried. Unfinished.
So David Botar did send a draft of the EDA application early November. And Mark, myself, and Taylor had worked on giving revisions to the budget, and David Botar has gotten all of our edits back to it. He is hoping to have a final application for review by the 19th this week. And because of the holiday season being next week, he wanted to set up a review meeting for anyone that's interested the week of the 29th of November. And that if everyone feels good about the application moving forward, then he's ready to submit it on our behalf. So there has been some real progress on getting the application to where it needs to be. The other side of it, before he can register or submit the application, I have been working with Steve Lynch to get our sam.gov account reactivated for the CCIDA. This is an account that we're going to need to be able to submit or file the EDA application. It cannot be submitted under CCIDA. So there's been challenges. This has been non-active for several years, and there is no authorized users. So I had submitted a notarized letter to become an authorized user on the account. It was denied because I had the wrong address for how the CCIDA is registered in the SAMS.gov account. So I've been working with Steve Lynch to get the correct address. I've now resubmitted and I'm waiting for an approval for the account. So David Botar will need that information as well before he can submit the EDA application.
Will David have a meeting here?
We can set up a Zoom. We have not talked about logistics yet. He just got back into the office yesterday.
Okay.
So working with Mark Chambers, we wanted to make sure we got all the feedback to him before yesterday. And he said, David, when I talked to him yesterday, he was gonna work on it today, tomorrow, and then through the 19th to submit something. So after I get something, I'll send it out to the full board to look at, but he's also suggesting a meeting for anyone that's interested in reviewing it.
When did he have the application completed?
So he submitted to me on November 3rd, which was just a few days shy of the October 29th date. He said he was gonna send something to me.
That he was gonna do it on the, I thought the 28th.
The 28th or the 29th. So he ended up sending it to me on the 3rd of November.
Okay. And so to simplify what you just told us, he's gonna need to meet with us before the 1st of December so that he can file the actual application. And then I did read our minutes before I moved to approve them, but we were supposed to have an answer on that in December. Is he still in line to get an answer in December?
It's a great question. I think another holdup of this is that he cannot even submit the application until we reactivate the CCIDA SAMS.gov account. So even if he was ready to go to push this through, we can't actually submit it because we don't have an active account for him to do so.
Can you have that done excepting for correcting the address on one of the people?
I resubmitted it, so now I'm waiting to get the approval. I can't reactivate the account until they approve me to become an authorized user on the account.
What is SAMS.gov? What is, I'm sorry.
Systems, it's a management system for any federal grants.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So like CCIDA has an account, if there's a DUNS number, you
Okay.
have to keep the SAMS.gov account active to be able to apply for any federal grants
Okay.
or funding. So I had asked, can we just leverage the CCIDA account? And they said, no, because this is being submitted on behalf of CCIDA, they have to have their own active account. And this account has not been active for years. It was when Steve Lynch had actually, Steve Lynch is the one that actually had developed the account years ago,
So they probably had the 5th floor of the county office building as the address, as the
Yep.
physical address.
which I had put to State Street.
Yeah.
So,
Where's the approval come from, the federal government?
yeah, you have to submit everything to their system and then it can take up to 10 days to get approved.
And you're not setting a date until you get the approval for that account, is that the date for us to meet with him?
Oh, I mean, I think we should, he requested to meet during the week of November 29th, the last week of November. So, yeah, November 29th.
Or I can get an email out of days that work best for everyone who wants to
Attend. Yeah.
attend the meeting, and I'll put that in an email, and you guys can let me know what date and time works best, and I can get one on the calendar.
And if it's a majority of the board, it has to be advertised.
Right,
as a meeting.
Right,
so we can get a special meeting
Okay,
on the calendar.
I did talk to Mark Chambers yesterday and he said he reviewed it, like you said, he thought the description of the project was very good. And so he was very happy with the proposal as far as his area is concerned.
Mark made a lot of, well, not a lot of revisions, but he revised the phase 2 narrative. And then he corrected some of the numbers that were proposed in the budget. I provided more information around the data for Cuba County and the region to kind of help David with some of that narrative. He also sent us a bunch of maps that were related to the project and to the industrial park. And Mark said that he reviewed the maps and everything seemed fine with the maps as well.
any other questions? Staff update.
So the CCIDA Micro Enterprise Program is wrapping up. We are into our last 3 weeks. This cohort looks like it'll be graduating with 100% participant rate. So there'll be 5 entrepreneurs at the end of the program. And they're all slotted to receive $5,000 grants upon completion, which is really great. These entrepreneur business plans are focusing on a specialized pet boutique, gaming and arcade, a holistic wellness service, a lingerie store, and then a youth and college athletic service. Business that would help youth create admission videos when applying for sports scholarships. So this is really exciting. Meg will be hosting a pitch competition, and we'll make sure we send that out to the board if you're interested in tuning in via Zoom to hear the final pitch for this competition. We just launched our 3rd Investor Spotlight video. It's a mashup of interviews with New Age Renewable, Dumont Farms, and Local Winery, and kind of why have they invested in Cuba County as well. Also, this video gives a great overview of CCIDA as an organization and the types of services that the specialists provide as well. Also, we just released a blog yesterday with a collaboration project we did with Dumont Farms and BOCES. BOCES PALS class, which is the Plant Animals Life Science class that they run, was looking to connect with a local employer to do some drone footage. So we had connected them with Dumont Farms to actually create a virtual tour experience and give the students real life experience with working with drones. This is actually turned into a larger project now where we're going to be working with Cuba Works to do a series of virtual drone videos, which employers and community partners can use as recruitment tools, because due to COVID, not everyone is allowed on site, but we want to try to create more industry exposure opportunities for job seekers that are looking for new jobs or a job. So we are gonna be working again in partnership with BOCES and several Cuba County employers to create these virtual job tours so that we can use these to hire, get people hired. That's all I have.
Not much news on the search for executive director at this point. I guess it's kind of on hold, waiting for the county to pass the budget. I personally didn't think we should wait till that happened, but so
So you've not even had a meeting?
but last week we had an executive meeting.
We did have an executive meeting last week. That was the last
Was it Tuesday?
conversation. Yeah, last
Yeah.
Tuesday.
And I think you were gonna meet with
Keith.
Aileen.
I met with Keith,
Okay,
yeah. So, but it's on hold still until it gets approved.
You've not had any actual meetings on the appointment though?
I have not. The search committee has not met,
That's what I was trying to,
has not.
the search committee has not met.
Yes.
Is there any new information about the possibility of separating that organization from?
No, actually, to
Nothing's going on at all.
be very honest with you, it's all centered around what we could set for a salary for the new executive director position. And a couple of them don't want to set a salary, not knowing how much to see the budget's going to be. I personally, as she might tell you, been saying, we gotta move forward.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
mean, are we gonna do something or are we gonna have a
The
director, aren't
range,
we?
You know, you must have some kind of a range
Yeah, exactly, that's like,
and just get
One
the
of them-
process moving so you can. at least
One of them wants
see what's
to-
out there.
one of them wants a salary quite low. I said, we're not gonna get the type of person if we set the salary. Yeah, what Tracy had or less, I mean, that's not gonna work. So we had, it was about an hour meeting, and we accomplished nothing, to tell you the truth. When is the budget gonna be?
Well, there's meeting tonight after Ways and Means.
What's that?
The meeting is tonight after Ways and Means, but it's more information. The 18th is when there's gonna be resolutions toward the budget, and then the budget, the public hearing and all that stuff will happen in December,
December
Um,
6th.
December 6th.
Yeah, I talked to Keith today. CCIDA scheduled on November 18th, this Thursday, to go in front of the committee to answer any questions about the budget we submitted. And then, as Ben was saying, there will be a public hearing on December 6th. And then, I think Keith had mentioned December 14th would be
The
the
final
final
budget vote.
vote.
And,
It has to be done by December 15th.
and I think you guys are gonna be presenting a special project too during that.
Keith was gonna have a follow-up conversation with Aileen. They've been going back and forth. They said be prepared either way.
Yeah,
What was that?
in the request from CCIDA for the budget, please don't leave the room. I'm not even positive on this, but from my perspective, what I hear is, Aileen put in this 375, but
Right.
there's also another project that she wants, brought to the legislature to see if they can get additional funding for another project besides the regular funding.
Yeah, I knew there was talk of that.
Yeah, so
I'm ready to talk either way.
I,
They'll be
well-
dependent on if they want me to present it.
while I'm talking, I have to give Danielle a lot of compliments on the last planning committee meeting we had at the legislature. One of the people that is always a pain in the ass for this organization. Kind of challenged her the month before, and I think Danielle did an excellent job of putting him in his place.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure sitting there watching and listening.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So we wait, right?
Yeah,
Nothing we can do,
Yeah.
nothing, Ray's only one vote, I mean, there's only so much he can do.
well,
Well, it's coming pretty quick now. At this point, right? I mean, you're not that far away.
it's gonna take several months to put the notice out, the job descriptions, to set up meetings, yeah, the narrow, hopefully we'll get, last time we only had 5 that were finalists. And it still took us a month to weed out to them,
Well, it might need to be harder now, because it's really hard to find people.
Daniel expressed 0 interest at that point in applying. She changed her
It
mind.
still
a bit.
stands.
It's still 0.
I just asked her if she was, had her hat in the ring.
I am 1,000% committed to this organization and the potential it has.
Oh, I didn't mean
to
to put you
grow.
on the spot.
Oh, no.
I just, the last time we had Tracy and she was a prospective and,
I know where my strengths lie, and I will be a great asset to the new executive director.
yeah, we
But-
appreciate the effort.
But
Just-
selfishly, I want a stress-free life.
Sure.
Well, my gosh. Good for you.
Thank you. I do better flying under the radar.
That's good.
Oh, you're doing fine.
Less turbulence.
But I think for her question about the separation, I've been, the feeling I'm getting and myself is possibly to get the new director in and let them decide if it should be separated or how they want to operate. Right now, the chamber really runs itself. There's some talk that we might merge the chamber with Oswego. Is it Oswego?
Well, Center State would be
Oversight.
the oversight. It would be, from the last conversation I heard is that the Center State has a contract with the Fulton and Oswego
Yeah,
chamber.
yeah.
So if anything was to be explored, it could be a similar structure to how Center State and then would operate for Kita. I don't know if any other conversations have happened, but that's what was explained to me.
But I caution them on that.
So basically, you're gonna get the county budget approval, and then you're gonna deal with setting a salary.
Yes,
And after the salary is set, then you will go through the advertising.
yes. Yeah, we
You have to set a salary before you advertise.
have to set a salary range.
Yes, there's no way you can
Yeah.
advertise.
And it's my belief that to set it as the same or lower than what Tracy was getting isn't gonna work.
Depends on what you want. Depends on what you want.
To get what you want, I don't think it'd be a good move to do that. But there's one person on there that is very uncertain about paying too much wage for fear that our budget gets cut. The following, well, you can't worry about every year like that, Get hired a person, set the wage, worry about it next year. It's not a very good way to run an organization,
Well, I was gonna say, for
being
the-
on the spot every year like this.
yeah, well, and for the applicant or the person that's sitting in the position, it's not very secure,
That's right.
right? So that's, I'm sure, a consideration anyone would take that would take the position, knowing that.
Yeah.
You folks continue to work hard at getting the right people elected in legislature. See how it works out for you.
Yeah,
Well, also, I think as an organization, as we're growing into a mature phase, we should be more accountable with going out and securing other sources of revenue. Applying for grants that are really gonna put us in a position to grow some strategic initiatives. And I don't think this organization's ever been challenged to do that. So yes, there are these local contracts with the county and city. However, I think there should be some accountability as CCIDA grows into a mature organization to go out there and also secure additional funding to help them grow. I mean, that's typically how EDAs work. They've just never been challenged to do that yet. And we've outgrown the operational organization. So to continue to grow capacity and resources, it's not necessarily fair to keep going back to the county and asking for more and more and more.
Right.
Well, it would be very nice if you could count on a certain level of support.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mhm.
yeah, if there was a designated amount.
Which I think the original agreement was.
It was.
Yeah, but
But the original agreement, the very original agreement was tied into the gaming revenue. And I guess that agreement dropped.
yeah, I don't wanna get into how it all happened, Ray, it's.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
But that's where we stand with it. And should tell you that I pushed each meeting to say, hey, you don't get to field plows till you start. Okay, any other stats? New business.
From you. So the
Yes.
December annual meeting, normally Tracy would set up at the, give you the option to go to the spring side. I'm not sure if you guys want to do that this year. We didn't last year due to COVID. I'm not too sure if you guys are comfortable to do it this year. For your meeting in December, that's at your discretion if you want me to reach out to the spring side to have your December annual meeting there or not. If not, we can keep it for the date set at 4 o'clock. If you would like me to change it, I can look into it for you.
I wouldn't mind having it provided they give us more space. I mean, I'm very comfortable in a setting like this, we can all talk. But we can't be elbow to elbow at a table, I wouldn't feel comfortable being elbow to elbow with everybody.
So if you feel comfortable here, do you want me to see if someone will cater and we have it here and do a
Well, I
luncheon
mean, we can have
there?
it at Springside if they would give us more space.
Well, we usually got the whole
Yeah, you got.
fireplace room.
Right, so
We
we
can
can
just spread it out more.
spread it out in there.
The room is big enough if
Right.
you arrange the room properly.
Yeah, I-
Don't you think, Ray?
Oh, I find out Sean, that you ask them, they'll do anything you want, they,
I mean, that's my position. I mean, I think that room is plenty big enough, but you can't just be in one table in the center, elbow to elbow. Set the table the other way and have,
You know,
some room.
we can do it like this.
Yeah,
Let's try to have it as Springside, but emphasize we need to have it set up to use the whole room, so we're not quite so close together.
Would that be the 14th, I think, right?
are they closed the open line for the winter, would they still do something like this?
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing, all parties,
Oh, okay,
All special events, yeah.
funerals and
It
parties.
would be the 14th. I would move it to the 14th.
noon time,
What date is it?
The meeting will be moved to the 14th of December.
noon time,
Noon?
is that okay with everyone?
Noon, you said?
And I think myself, she and John were the nominated.
That's fine.
Yeah,
So we'd have our own,
Yep, so then also the nominating committee will need to meet and the spots that are up is Herb, Gina and Ben. Those are the
Oh,
chairs.
was it Ben?
Yep,
Okay, I'm sorry, I thought it was John, I still can't remember.
no, John went last year.
Okay, and we tend to meet
Right before.
briefly before the dinner meeting, okay? And I think we also, you discussed the appointments to this board from the legislature. Normally, we recommend to them who we would like. And Ben, is your position a legislative position? So we don't have much to say about.
probably not. Okay. So December might be probably be my last meeting.
well, hopefully we'll make the lunch meeting.
Yeah. December, yeah.
Have you only been on the board a year or is this every 2
No.
years?
Second year.
So they do it every 2 years, they switch it?
No, they do it yearly.
They do it yearly,
Oh.
but Aileen has been the chair for 2 years, so she made the appointment. She kept it.
So you know.
Oh, I know.
Elections have consequences. I remember somebody saying.
I was trying to be, you know. optimistic.
The other two members are myself
Gina,
and I would certainly recommend that we recommend her for another,
that motion,
yes.
there's a second.
I'll second it.
I'll recommend you as well, Harlan.
We can use that as one motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. I guess we could vote on that and they can do what they want. Actually,
You can.
they didn't, I think I was the first rep that was actually designated from the county, right?
I think so.
Well, I'll tell you, there's probably a good chance they aren't gonna do anything for a while, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
When I think you continue on then.
Yeah, you continue on.
I continue on until they find a replacement. So it's,
You can make the motion.
So you won't come until they,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, I'm not gonna.
kind of takes care of.
Yeah, I mean.
I'd like to do-
I think what Rick said, it, you just, until somebody's appointed to replace. What was it, like 4 years on the college board before they made a replacement?
Oh, I don't know, that was a few years ago. though.
Yeah, because there was one time, it was 3 or 4 years before.
Well, then we had one legislator that didn't run, but he wanted to stay on as a legislator. He's going to- yeah. Whatever, it's always interesting.
Okay, self-evaluation forms.
Yep, so these come out
Here's
yearly. Just to fill them out and hand them back to me, I keep them on record. It's in your packet, it's, yep, it's the last part of your packet, or the last page. Yep, and the page, the other side.
Upcoming events.
We just had ABO training for November 17th and December 8th, both at 9:30 to 11. Nothing from the chamber, and film events for the year.
The holiday party got canceled. So last month, they officially canceled it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cova,
COVID, they just don't feel that it's right to move forward with having an in-person event right now.
yeah, it's too bad. Not that I've ever went to it, but I always went to the annual dinner, that was very nice.
That used to be a lot of fun.
I'm with Ronnie again.
Do we need an executive session?
I just recovered from it.
Do we, Rick,
No, thank you. No,
executive session?
no, not to my knowledge.
Discussion from the board.
I will throw out that the legislature, especially the one person who's saying we have to have more property that we, where we can, bring people into and stuff. It's kind of like, I'm a loss for words, but kind of like the property we've been looking at, weed sport and stuff like that.
Another industrial park,
Yeah,
something like that. Well, Paul's been talking about that for a little.
maybe
There's the
they'll,
other side.
maybe they'll take $1 million from the ARPA funds and give it to see that the develop another industrial park.
Hold your breath. Right there.
I don't know if the weight place is still available, is it?
The what place?
Other side.
It's the weight farm?
No,
Genesee
flip
Street?
that over. Flip that over.
I don't know.
Yep,
Maybe, can you look into that?
yeah. Wait for it.
Weight farm. We almost had a deal with them a few years ago. I thought Crowley's was gonna sell to Mrs. Carpenter's place, but looks like they're keeping it.
I was just gonna ask about that property because he passed away.
Then note, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
On favor? Opposed? Thanks.
It's the first meeting Herb hasn't made that motion I can remember in a long time.
I gotta